My life before Hope House was a complete disaster. I was very lost in addiction, didn't know where my life was going.
Before Hope House, my outlook on life was pretty dim. Like, it was dark. I had no future coming in. It was mediocre, you know. I wasn't happy, so I didn't want to be alive.
About 11 years ago, I had a tragedy in my life. My husband committed suicide. And, you know, I was brought up in church, felt like I had as much of a grasp as I needed on religion, but I didn't realize how far what I had, you know, only took me so far before I just kind of let go of life the way I knew it and gave up.
My life before Hope House was real bad. I was real sad and alone. I didn't want to be alive. I was ready to give up. I lost my kids. It was bad.
I had taken Suboxone for 14 years, but I kept my life normal. I ran my business, raised my kids, but then I had my youngest son, or I got pregnant with him, and when I was pregnant with him, it just got worse and worse and worse, like postpartum, I guess, until like my mind was completely gone. I couldn't have a cohesive thought. Everything was out of control. And then my daughter was in a fire. She had to jump from a second story of a burning apartment, and she shattered her ankle. So I couldn't work for like a month, and I had both my boys, and then my mom died Christmas Eve, and I started doing meth about a week later.
I think I was like, I don't know, 12 or 13 when I first started using, and from then, I mean, just from a very young age, when I started using it, just disrupted my life, my whole life. I mean, you know, it was just an everyday thing for me.
My outlook on life during addiction was probably just, this is it for me. You know, like, a part of me knew that it wasn't, because I'd been clean before and I knew what recovery was like, but being that I'd relapsed and went back to that same old mess, I was like, well, you know, obviously, you know, here I am again, so this is it. This is what it's going to be.
It's such a long spiral down that I don't even know how I got to where I eventually was, but probably making more money than I'd ever made in my life, but not doing anything good with it. You know, like living in my car, and it might have been a nice car, but it was also my home, like, and it was a real shameful experience.
Spending the 3.5 months that I spent in jail, I was able to have that clean time again. My eyes were open to knowing that, you know, I definitely needed something different. I needed a closer relationship with God. I had been accepted to like 3 other rehabs, but they weren't faith-based. So I knew I needed something along those lines to get me closer to God and be able to save my marriage and help me get my kids back.
Like the first week, I was okay. I was like, yay, I get to go outside. I get to have freedom. I'm not locked behind bars anymore. And then after that wore off, I was like, okay, I'm in rehab. And the reality sunk in of what have I done with my life? Why did I let my life get here? And then after the first 30 days, it became a routine. And then I started really involving myself in the programs here and the classes here and getting to know the instructors here and Adam and Harley and Angela. I got to really know them and all of the staff at the main office. And then I realized this is just one big family. And then that's all that it is. Like, this isn't just a program, this is a family. And I'm very lucky to be a part of this family.
Everybody helps each other out. You know, if one comes in, you know, I mean, and they don't have anything, we just, you know, it's like their family. We're just like one big family.
My relationships has changed because I started to trust people now. At one time I had a guard up where you could get close to me, but you're not going to get to know me. It doesn't matter how long you've been around me, you really don't know who I am because I'm not going to allow that. Program Living's taught me that I can start to trust people and they're not out there getting something from me. Like before, every time I trusted anybody, they robbed me blind. I don't have to worry about that today.
I've learned so much stuff. I've learned who I am. Like, I forgot who I was. I forgot, like, everything about me. I forgot what I like, what I don't. Like, I forgot everything. So learning who I am, again, as a person, not as like a drug addict.
I always said I wouldn't mind falling in front of my kids as long as they could see me get back up. So I'm at that point right now in life where I'm getting back up, so I'm like crazy with it. I just want to do good by them, and I want to live a life that they can not only be proud of, but that they can look at my example and see that it's possible to live right and do right. And to have God as the center just makes it that much more important.
Well, I know that God brought me here for a reason. Like, I didn't want to go to jail. Nobody wants to get in trouble, but I feel like God brought me through all this, like, because when I wanted to die, like, for something kept me holding on, and I feel like it was God, and I feel like I'm supposed to be here.
So my future plans involve something that I never thought that I would do is going back to school and getting a degree in some kind of nursing field. Not sure what that will be yet, but I have enrolled in SkyCTC, and I'm just trying to stay sober for myself, but then for my children, and be the mom that they deserve.
I want to be able to buy a house and have some land, and my kids be able to enjoy life at home with mommy and daddy again.